We're gonna talk about another Japanese company, so this should be fun. We're gonna talk about Capcom.
Oh shit!
Because Capcom
I remember
is coming out
Comic-Con.
with a couple of games that interest me as longtime fan of the series. So Onimusha 2 was being remastered by obviously whoever Capcom gave the job to. I don't think they're doing it, but I could be wrong. Regardless, whoever's doing it, Capcom is known for doing this with their remasters. They've done this quite often, where if something is deemed problematic, and oh, by the way, it's not the guns, it's not the violence, it's not the swords, it's not the blood. That's not problematic.
Is the
The problematic is the female anatomy.
Huh?
Which
Yeah, I
is
missed something.
always ridiculous. You definitely did.
Yeah.
So Onimusha, and this is probably one of many things that are probably going to be in the game, because anytime I see something like this, I immediately raise an eyebrow. I'm like, interesting. So we got some censorship, and granted, it is small, but still extremely
is not
dumb
small.
because
Oh
then
my
you.
god.
Well, I call it small because it's one thing right now, but
Damn.
the problem
Right,
with the,
exactly. But if
the
it's,
problem with the
ooh.
one thing is that it ends up being 2, ends up being 3, ends up being 4, and then before you know it,
Exactly.
Right.
before you know it, you got a
titties.
Stellar Blade drama situation.
Bro,
I find it
how
amazing,
many
really
weeks-
quick, because I gotta step away for a minute. Just let me just say something. I just find it amazing that the company that will glorify all kinds of violence, like all kinds of violence. I'm talking like whatever you can think about. Capcom has probably done. A little bit of titty is a little bit just too much for modern day Capcom. It's
not even
they
a lot of
they
titties.
gave them essentially not really. I mean, this is even not that bad. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
no,
like
no,
Vice City type shit.
Man, those are
This is-
because too, man. What are
I mean,
we
you
doing?
got Grand Theft Auto bitches twerking on top of cars. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm talking about big booty Kana bitches, like not even like semi attractive women. But I mean, anyway, that's where we're at. Where now they put the most ghetto, obvious fucking After Effect on it, and it's just it's kind of tiring, man. It really is dumb. It brings the question like, why? My thing is like, why did this offend you? Like, why did this hurt you? And people are going to bring up the ESRB. And I'm like, all right, well, there's games out there that are released that look like this on the left with higher definition graphics, and they still get under mature ratings. Not like they got to immediately go to fucking porn level rating in order just because you got a little bit of female anatomy cleavage on the screen. So I don't really think this is for any kinda-
the ESRB is a bullshit excuse.
It is. That's what I'm saying. I don't really think it's for anything ESRB related. I think it's because the modern day, Capcom and other people outside have issues with the female anatomy. At least real females, anyway. If this was probably a trans guy,
Yeah,
they'd probably let
they
this.
added Adam's
Let's
apple,
paint a
it'd be
picture
fine.
really quick. Let's paint a picture.
Yeah, you
really
guys
quick.
go. Go ahead.
If we lived in a reality when every nigga was walking around naked, and you had to
Whoa.
see, no, follow me. I'm going somewhere. If we lived in a reality where everybody had to walk around naked, and you had to see every nigga's dick walk around this bitch, and you had to live an existence where you knew your shit was small, and every other nigga around you, their dick was huge, and you was running a company, you would want that shit censored too.
What the
Oh
fuck
my
is this?
fucking
What is
God.
this?
What
What
the
the fuck is
Wait,
going on
no,
here,
bro.
bro?
Wait, hold on. Did Ryan trauma dump on you recently? Like, what happened? Did he tell you a story?
I'm just saying.
First you complain on Twitter, now you're talking about this.
I was right about to step away, but I had my headset on, so I'm like, what the fuck is this dude talking? Hold on.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
I'm just saying,
All right,
if you
I'm
knew
stepping
every
away now.
nigga's dick was bigger than yours, you would want it censored too. Okay.
Man, that don't got nothing to do with nothing because if you
Yes,
live in that reality,
Yes, it does.
because if you live in that
because
reality
the video
where you
game
see
industry is full of fat ass, big backeted white women who don't want to see attractive women in video games. They want to see big backs.
Examples you could have
I think Kate is
what
kind
does
of
that gotta do with-
I wasn't on board with this until he talked about the big back white women. I was like, never mind. Yeah, Atreus got it. He's
That's
cooking.
what I'm saying. It's a
But
bunch
that
of
has nothing to do with walking around seeing
You gotta
everybody's
clip that.
dicks.
yes, it
Knowing
does.
they're all bigger than yours.
What?
That's what you
Yes,
said.
yes, it
That's
does.
what you said.
Yes, it does because the equivalent is women care about their bodies. Well, they don't care enough to actually get in the gym. But if you're a fat ass, big backeted white woman and you have to see the only representation in video games is attractive women, it would be the same as, and that's the reason why they want to have it censored. It would be the same as niggas walking around having to see niggas. Everybody's dick is bigger than theirs. So in movies and video games, they want dicks censored. They don't want niggas with big dicks showing on the screen because their dick is small. And they want to see little dick representation.
Man, I'm on board.
I mean, look.
Let's spread the suppression around.
He
Oh my
cooked a little
God.
bit, but it's still cold on the middle, right? It's still cold in the middle.
And
Because
that's
you
why
cook-
it's
He didn't-
small.
He
Because
didn't
it's
cook the big
cold. You
dick
never
all the
heard
way
scream?
through.
Like,
Oh,
I get what you're
geez.
saying.
What is
There's a
going on
bunch
here?
of envious women that work at these companies, and they don't want these characters to be great, pretty much. They don't want to see all that because they're insecure in themselves, and they don't have the kind of assets that these characters have. I 100%.
Well, I think
Get
this is
that
just
point.
company mandated across the board, and whether people agree with it or not, it's now the new rules of the modern era. And Capcom is
Yeah.
one of the more notorious companies in Japan that are willing to adhere to Western ideology. It's sad to say, and it sucks to see that this is really happening because it's so fucking petty. At the end of the day,
It don't
everyone
fuck
has
me,
to
I
look
just
at
won't
this
buy the
company and
game.
laugh at them.
I just won't buy the game. Like,
Yeah, honestly, I don't completely throw censored games out the window. It depends on how censored they are. But this definitely lowers the value proposition of the game. I will not be buying the game at launch. I will wait for a deep sale because this is not the true this is not the true vision of the game, the original intent of the game. So therefore, it's less valuable to me.
Yep.
That's all that is at the end of the day. Like.
Yeah.
Now, if it's even more censored to the point where like there's some things dialogue, completely like just bastardized, like if the list, if it's a laundry list of shit, then it's like, yeah, I don't want the game. Like the Dead Rising remastered, I don't want that game.
Garbage.
If it was just like a one little thing or this, I would have bought it on a deep sale, but I don't even want the game because of how much they fucked it up. And
Right.
make no mistake about it. Dead Rising is a Capcom IP. They completely changed actual characters. They're changed them from
Bro,
like
it's worse
Asian
than
to
that.
white. Like completely
crazy.
just
That was
tore
crazy.
up. Yeah, completely just tore up dialogue in order. Like, no, that's to the point where it's like the ideology is too deep in that you completely destroyed this game. It is unpurchasable to me. Now, if it's just like this just happens, the game is just worth less. I'll buy it on a deep sale. But
Yeah.
if it's to the level of Dead Rising, it's like, nah, son, I have to back away slowly.
It's like we know of like, so this is nowhere near the situation that happened with Lara Croft, because that one I understood, the one particular one, which was the naked woman on the back of the jacket. When it was pixelated, you can tell it was a woman. If you were really smart, if you looked close enough, you could realize she's naked, but you couldn't see anything because it was pixelated. So obviously, once it becomes HD and remastered, you're gonna see everything. And I can understand why they put a bra on her, unless they're willing to take a higher rating, which I don't think they're gonna be willing to, considering. So I get that censoring like actual
So
nudity,
I don't know if you noticed, but with those like the trilogy,
but this is not that.
the original trilogy was rated T for teen, and the remaster trilogy has an M rating. So I'm like, what the fuck? Like at that point, you might as well
Does it
just
really?
let it rock since you accepted the M rating anyway.
Yeah.
Wait, does it really have an M rating? I didn't even realize that.
Yes,
That's
the remaster trilogy has an M rating. Meanwhile, all the original games T for teen.
Oh, so get the fuck
Yo,
out of here.
that's
Why
wild.
would
I
they say that?
I
So that makes no sense.
I
could've
take
sworn
back
it was
everything I just
15.
said.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
just
take
made-
everything I just said.
That has made it 10 times more worse. Like,
I-
yeah,
worse.
no,
I
it
can
does.
In real time.
understand the Dragon Quest situation because they wanted to make it
Wait, what?
rated
Seriously?
a rated E game instead of going to the T rating. I get that because their Dragon Quest game was, rated E back in the day, and now standards, unfortunately, are shittier than ever before. So I get that, avoiding that rating upgrade. But yeah, there's just no excuse for the Lara Croft shit.
Are you fucking kidding me? They rated this thing M for blood, intense violence, and suggestive themes. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all.
Are you
fucking
fucking kidding me, bro? What?
And there's no reason for Onimusha 2 to, for them to hold back at this point because it's already wasn't rated M game to begin with. So you might as
That
well
I
just
know.
rock on.
Yeah, that I know. There's no reason to with Onimusha, zero reason. So, and to be fair, if Tomb Raider got an M rating, then what the fuck is Onimusha gonna get with all the violence and the blood and everything? Like, what are we doing here? So this is clearly not a for the rating situation, because again, people, that's the first comment you'll get if you make a video talking about this. They'll be like, but the ESRB is like, I don't think that's that at all, in my opinion. Because what I'm seeing here, blood, intense violence, suggestive themes, bro, that used to be teen movies when I was growing up. That was like a teen. I would see all of that plus titties, probably even a fur coat down below if you're lucky enough, depending on the video. And it'll still be rated teen. Now, blood and violence, that's M now, bro.
Our standards have gotten worse over the years. Well,
That's
not our
crazy,
standards, the industry
their
standards.
standards, yeah. It's amazing, bro. I did not. You just blew my mind away with that. I had no idea about that. I legit thought it was teen.
You just in real time. You just saw Hypno go. Nah, I understand what they said. Wait, no, never mind.
Yeah,
I don't.
Fuck that
Fuck
now.
these guys.
Fuck that now.
No.
That's crazy, bro. Oh my god. But anyway,
I did cover this today, just so you know. I don't know if you saw the video or not, but I did cover this today in conjunction with the Devil May Cry shit, because the creator of Devil May Cry came out saying he wanted to do a remake of Devil May Cry 1, like a ground up remake. Like, no, fuck that. Don't get me wrong. I love Hideki Kamiya. That's great. But it's not just Onimusha. And Cassie hit the nail on the head, first of all, with fucking Dead Rising. Dead Rising was one of the most atrocious instances of Capcom censorship we've ever seen. But between Onimusha, between Dead Rising, between all of the Resident Evil remakes, every single one of them has been censored. There is not a single IP that Capcom has brought back from the dead that has not been censored to fucking oblivion. It is just like Capcom. It might be the most in bed with BlackRock of any Japanese company I know, and we all know how in bed Square Enix is with them. I truly think that Capcom is even fucking worse than Square Enix in that regard. So, I mean, I'm at the point where I'm just like, burn Capcom to the ground. I'm gonna fuck, and they used to be my favorite third-party company. And I get everybody loves Monster Hunter. Sorry, Sheep City, but like, if they're gonna be doing this level of fuck shit when it comes to censorship, why should we be giving them our dollar?
Go for it, Trace.
Nah. I ain't got nothing. I'm just we ain't burning shit.
No.
I thought that was your specialty.
You don't have a reason?
Just bro. My reason is spelled MONSTER space HUNSTER.
Oh, Monster
What?
Hunter.
You really couldn't just say Monster Hunter? Bro? You had to spell that shit out?
Wait. Did you say H? Did you say HUNSTER?
Like, we're gonna
spell
Monster
Hunter correctly.
He
Sounded
said
like he was trying to spell Munster for a second.
My bad.
He said HUNSTER. What the fuck? That is what you said.
He was spelling it how he speaks it in his mind. So he's like Monster Hunter, like he put the Hunter in that shit.
No.
Damn.
I'm surprised he didn't spell it HUNSTA.
Leave the multi-letter alphabet alone.
We was Monster Hunters and shit.
Monster Hunter. Anyway,
He said Monster Hunter.
I agree.
What?
Capcom is a piece of shit. Ryan, go ahead, go for it, bro.
No, I just find. Okay. I just find Capcom. I just find Capcom to be amusing, man. I recently talked a little bit about, whether or not Resident Evil 9 could be on the horizon from Capcom. I'm very surprised it hasn't been a topic of the day. I've covered it not once but twice, despite not knowing much about Resident Evil. And if this is the direction Capcom is going, I'm not very hopeful. Let's just put it that way.
I just realized how bad of a show we are in general. At least Soul Train. You remember Soul Train, right? The OG shit. They would actually tell people how to spell the shit they were going to spell on the show beforehand.
Man, let me tell y'all something. Cassie was watching Soul Train. She definitely got cakes.
I love Soul Train, bro. I love all that music. What are you talking about, brother?
At any rate, I can't even sit here and defend Capcom on this one myself. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and fake the funk. I am a fan of Capcom, like some franchises, mostly Resident Evil and Mega Man, and Monster Hunter, obviously. But like, I'm not gonna sit here and I hate censorship far more than I like Capcom.
Yeah,
I hate censorship more than I like any franchise, to be real. So,
people,
I'm not a fan of that shit at all.
People don't realize, like, you could be a fan of something. You could like a product and whatnot and still criticize it. I mean, people complain about YouTube all the time. They still use it every single day. Like there are products out there that people complain about, and they still use them. And over time, some of them get better, some of them don't. Some of them get worse. It just depends. Capcom, I think, is one of those companies that is getting worse. And the thing is, I get worried when I see a remaster of an old IP that I also know that that same company is making a brand new version of the same IP. So now it's like, all right, I see you remastering Onimusha 2 and you're censoring it. This is only one example of censorship. I'm sure there's more in the game. I'm sure it probably has less blood and all that stuff. Typical shit that Capcom does.
Oh, and don't forget, Hypno, there's going to be an Onimusha anime coming to Netflix soon.
Oh, it's going to be
black
on
Netflix?
Oh, is it out now? I didn't realize it came out if
it
it was.
Was it done by the same guy that did Devil May Cry?
Thank God, no.
God, I hope not.
That shit was hot garbage.
So I see this censorship, and I'm like, all right, well, if you're doing this with the older title, like, what are you gonna do with the newer title? Because I was looking forward to the new Onimusha. The moment they announced it, I was like, hell yeah, this is awesome. We're bringing back Onimusha. Let's fucking go. And what they showed looked cool, but to be fair, I mean, it was only a cinematic. So I just get worried. I see this stuff, and I'm like, oh, well, Capcom's being Capcom.
The game, the new game is its own game. It's not a remake. It's it's its own thing. So we don't have anything to compare it to. This is egregious because
coming for you, Atreus.
Oh my god, this is egregious because we have the original Onimusha 2 to compare this remaster to. It's not like you can't find this information and be like, hey, you guys, you're clearly doing something fucked up here for no reason. With a brand new game that's not a remake or like I'm not really gonna as long as it holds true to the original franchise to whatever extent, obviously there's going to be differences, but I'm not going to say like, oh, throw this one under the bus, it's over. Like there's nothing to compare it to. It's its own thing. You have to take it for its own merits.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying dunk the new one and ignore it altogether. I always look at every game separate, but I am saying that I'm going to now look at the new one with a little bit of a sus eye to it now because if I see this happening with the older project, I can just only imagine what the people who are in charge of the newer project may or may not be doing. We don't know. Again, all I got was a cinematic. I can't fucking I never judge any game off of a cinematic. I may laugh at it, but I'm never gonna judge it.
I don't know if this is within the same vein or not, but it also leads to continuity issues, which as a lore hound pisses me the fuck off because, like, so you've got the remake of Resident Evil 3, for example, right? You got Resident Evil 3, they completely changed how Jill looks, the whole night. Like, it's basically how she looks, how she acts. She's a different fucking character than in the remake of 3. Well, then continuity-wise, you've got 5. How do you go from what she looks like in 3 to what she looks like in 5? They put out a movie, Resident Evil Dead Island or whatever, that's supposed to be canon. It's a CGI film, it's supposed to be canon. And now she looks like she does in 3, but it takes place after 5. So now your timeline's all fucked up. The character writing's all fucked up. Why? Because you started doing this whole modernity shit. You want to make her a strong, badass female, which she already was. You put in all this DEI shit that made her even fucking worse. Like, not only is it bad for the games in terms of censorship, but it also legitimately fucks with the lore and story of these games.
Bro, I'm telling you, I can't wait. If there's one game that I want modern day Capcom to remaster, it has to be Resident Evil 5. I cannot wait for it. I cannot wait for the zombies to become white because they're going to.
That's gonna be the thing that gets me to 100K subs. Just throwing it out there. I've been making Resident Evil 5 videos exclusively for a damn year straight.
The wildest shit,
probably the most legendary video.
That's gonna be
the wildest shit to me. The wildest shit to me when it comes to Resident Evil 5 that a lot of people tend to forget is that in the first mission, there's not just black dudes out there. You see dudes that look like George Lopez,
Mexicans, dude. You see Mexicans and Asians. You see I just replayed the Resident Evil 5 3 times in 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago.
Man,
well, they're gonna remove all the black people and they're gonna try to put in some extra line in there that's explaining that the what the fuck's the parasite called or whatever.
Oh, the Plagas.
I forget
Plagas is the parasite. Ouroboros is what Wesker's creating. Anyway.
Is Wesker's
right? So that shit, they're gonna put some extra line in there that shit is causing all the Africans to turn white or something. I don't know. They're gonna try to fucking explain why all the zombies are suddenly white now. It's gonna be so stupid, bro.
When they're good, they're black, but after they get infected, they turn white.
You guys remember, and Sheep might remember this, in the second level of Resident Evil 5, there's a white chick, like blonde hair, blue eyes, and she runs out of the building, like, help! And these two black dudes grab her and like drag her into a building, and she's screaming.
Was it a black dude? I thought it was just like one white dude who drags me.
I mean, the thing is, you can't win to lose with these games because with Days Gone, journals were bitching that all the fucking, freakers they're called in their universe, they were all white.
Yeah.
And it's like the lore actually explains that, when they turn into that, their skin gets, lighter. There's
Right.
lore behind this shit, and they're
There's a
just
reason
don't
for
accept
it.
it. Like, oh, there's no black people in this world. They're all, all the freakers, they're all white. It's like, you can't win to lose when it comes to these motherfuckers. They'll bitch and whine either way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would love to see it. Go ahead, Chief.
My logic behind all of that shit is like, who the fuck cares, dog? Like, just play the game. Do you enjoy the game? Do you? All right, shut up. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're complaining about a fictional setting not looking like real life. Like, what the fuck is wrong
Zombies, by the way. Zombies.
with you? Right, zombies.
Zombies.
What are you doing?
By the way,
Imagine being
Capcom
in a
probably made Africa
post-apocalyptic
look better
world.
than Africa actually looks. I'm just saying.
Imagine
damn.
being in a post-apocalyptic world, and
Right.
you're shooting zombies, and the first thought in your mind is whether or not you're a racist. You might as well just get eaten by the fucking zombies. Just become one with them. If you really don't want to be a racist, just join with them. I'm sure they won't mind having you for lunch and dinner and everything
And
after that.
whatever else they got, saved you for.
That's
Well,
just crazy, bro.
zombies
Imagine playing
are
co-op.
the-
Ryan, really quick. Imagine playing co-op, right? You're playing co-op Resident Evil 5, and the fucking liberal kid is playing the black girl. I forget her name too. It's been so long.
Sheva.
And Sheva. I usually call her Eva. I don't know why. Sheva. Imagine playing with the liberal kid, Sheva, and then he just stops. Like the kid just stops while you're in the middle of fucking zombie horde. Just stops. He's like, I can't do this. I'm like, what are you talking about? You can't do this. And he's losing his mind because he's shooting black zombies. Like, why are you thinking about that? Why is it even going across your fucking mind? And it's because these people have been taught to see their version of media literacy and everything. For them, media literacy means looking at every story and twisting it to some way, shape, or form of progressive politics. It doesn't actually mean what media literacy actually means. So that's how they view everything. They'll try to take any story that's told and try to input some level of like bullshit in there. Like, oh, this is clearly a story about oppression against blacks, right? I'm like, it's a fucking zombie game, bro.
Ironically enough, though, Hypno, and I don't know if how many motherfuckers know this, that was one of the earliest instances of Capcom capitulating to the woke mob before we even had the term woke. Because Sheva was supposed to be an NPC. She was always going to be in the game, but she was going to be an NPC that you run into throughout the course of the game, kind of like Barry or Rebecca in previous games. And once there was the outcry of white dudes shooting black folk, they're like, okay, we need to put her in the game more. So there's also a black person shooting black people. That was actually one of the earliest forms of capitulating to the woke mob.
Melanophilia is really viral. It can even spread to white people. And that's
what the fuck did you just say?
Melanophilia.
I can't with you, bro. Oh my god,
this is real.
I've never heard that term before, Atreus. Could you
never heard
explain
it? It's called melanophilia. They wake up and everything is about melanin. It's everything about it. You know what I'm saying? And it can spread to whites. Where you got these white people waking up every day thinking about how their existence offends somebody with melanin in their skin.
Dude, is there a version of that about gay people? Because I feel like we could attribute it and start calling her Melanin Mac. Like,
can we like kick Leon off the stream right now? Like, just get him off.
I cannot believe this.
Melanin Mac is when she posted that blackface picture, bro.
That's crazy.
Melanin Mac is when she was done getting off a new Blackstreet. That's exactly what it was.
What the hell are we doing? What are we doing? All right, back to the topic.
If there was any Claude Segusa in the comments says, I hear about a censored outfit in Onimusha 2 Remastered. Like, it's not on the fucking screen right now.
We've been talking about it for the last 45 minutes.
I will point out, though, although they are a substantial minority, there are blind viewers listening in, so they can't watch.
Well, one has cleavage, the other one's, covered up. So,
I know this because one of them gave me a 500 Canadian super chat once. Thank you, Mr. Rude.
Is that a mistype?
Who knows? Final thoughts on this, and then we're gonna get to the last topic, and then super chats.
If that was the case, how could he see?
Wyatt's probably gonna like this last topic. So,
dude, final thought is fuck Capcom.
Hey, yo, fuck you, bro.
Yeah, fuck Capcom and
honestly,
everybody.
Talk
ain't
fast.
Nintendo
talking
versus
enough.
Capcom shows. Let's go.
Look at how you're
Wait, so
shut
we
up,
went
strange.
from
Atreus.
leave the big company
I was
alone
saying.
to
literally
leave
about
the
to say that.
fucking censorship company alone.
Oh man.
Hey, listen.
Honestly, this looks like a lazy ass remaster, bro.
If they release
Yeah.
a bad game, I ain't slandering Capcom, man. I'm sorry.
As
Until they release
issues,
okay.
there's issues with Oblivion Remaster regarding censorship as well. Don't get me wrong, but after a remaster like that coming out, this shit looks like it was fucking put together with Gorilla Glue. Alright, it sucks.
Choice
That's
of words,
crazy.
choice of words. Definitely choice of words.
Oh man,
Smell of clean clothes.
duct tape, damn it. All right, does that make it better?
Much better.
No. I mean, yeah.
Well, he
mean,
said no, so.
You can smoke anything you want.
I just, like I said earlier, I just worry about what they're going to do with the new Onimusha. But I guess we will find out because, again, Capcom, bro, when they, in Dead Rising, when they race swapped that dude from fucking Asian to white, that shit lost. That's when I realized,
yeah.
Capcom is really
like
gone.
Mr. Chang or whatever.
Yeah, the Dead Rising remake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's
dog.
when
That
I
was-
realized,
censored
like,
the
they're
word
gone.
communist.
Yeah.
Like, the race swaps one thing. They censored the word communist because they didn't want to offend commies. The people that won't buy their games anyway because they don't believe in money.
Yep.
Shit is wild. All right, let's get into the last topic. But before we do that, I was pretty quick with it. So shout out to Atreus.
Atreus.
Leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone.
That was fast.
Yeah. So now
Hey,
he's got
just
his
swap Leon's
own.
head.
He's got his own meme now. So we got Leon
outta
and we
here.
got Atreus out here chilling
That's
hard.
not even
chilling
accurate.
hard.
That is clearly Nintendo. I would never defend
Yeah.
Nintendo.
Oh, you know what? Let me change that. I just use the same
Throw some
background.
Monster Hunter bitches behind him. There we go.
Yeah, I got you. All right, you guys can start the next topic. So,